Good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again. Figures I gotta turn off my reverb here. Hold on. There we go. All right. Apologize. I'm still setting up my stuff a little bit here. I'm gonna put my light on because I haven't done that in a few streams here, and I'd like to at least display my semi-handsome face, I suppose. All right. Let's go ahead and plug this in and turn on the light a little bit here so I'm not in the dark completely. I hope everybody's having a good evening. Foxfire, how are you? Good to see you as always. Never get tired of seeing you, my friend. All right, so this is going to get bright and then we're going to go dim. So hold on just a second here. All right, there we go. What do I want to do tonight? I kind of want to go RGB a little bit here. So let's try blue. That's not great. Let's try to dim that. Yeah, I could do that. I guess that's good. All right. Surviving, yes. I'm right there with you, my friend. It's I keep talking about this particular stream every Sunday night as the beat the Sunday night blues um, that everybody feels before we go into Monday and we go into our work week and everything. And this tonight is probably a prime example of it. Um, I, personally, I'll tell you about my weekend. I mean, basically, I rested all weekend because I have been feeling under the weather. It's been 3 weeks since I first came down with the virus officially. Um, so 3 weeks now, I've been kind of trying to recuperate, and um, honestly, I don't feel any better. I don't. My chest is still achy. Um, the eyesight doesn't feel like it's getting much better. It could be. I don't know. It's just annoying. Again, I don't want to bitch too much about it, but um, on top of that, I did do quite a bit of babysitting this weekend, which wears you down quite a bit too. Overall, it's just, I don't know, just kind of a bit of a weekend where you're in the dumps and you can't figure out a way to get out of it sometimes. So, prior to going into this session here, I was like very mopey, very grumpy and stuff, and I actually just watched like a half hour of Game Grumps doing Obama impersonations, and that kind of cracked me up a little bit to the point where I no longer feel as grumpy. So I'm going with that. Um, So again, I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. It's Sunday evening. We are gonna do Neuromancer tonight. Um, I was kind of contemplating doing with Diablo 2. We could still wind up doing that. Um, I was grumpy. My Cowboys lost today, which is a game they shouldn't have lost, but they did. So that kind of got me down in a sour mood as well. What are you gonna do? So I'm going to stick with doing Neuromancer tonight, just because I want to see if I can beat that one up. I don't think I can get it all done tonight. It might take me two sessions to do, but we will get it done, just so I can check that one off my list. In fact, I need to bring up the playthrough for that. Oh goodness, I think that's the right one, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. So the last time we did this was um, we got to, I think we got all the way through part two. We're about 50% of the way done with this game now, I think. We've done a lot of the stuff there. We've hacked into the bank, did some shopping. We got ourselves a good cyber deck, and now we're kind of going through, and we're going to grab some software and go into cyberspace. So with that, the cyberspace part is really part two of the two-part game, basically. The first part is really getting yourself up to this point, and now we're going to go in and we're going to start taking on all the databases, just crashing through all of them. And we will be taking on some AIs, so that'll be a different type of combat. We'll see. Um, Hopefully, I can do it without like dying, because it is possible to kind of flatline in this one. I really don't want to do that, but we'll move judiciously on it. Um, Again, I don't know if I'm going to get through all of these tonight. I'd be happy if I just got like maybe to 75% of the way, and then we can finish it in one more session. All right, so I need to bring up the emulator. Let's get that done. So I don't know how the performance is going to be tonight. I'm hoping that my stream performance is going to be okay. I do have an upload working right now for backing up a laptop of mine. It is actually still uploading, but the good news is it hasn't failed yet. This is something I've been trying to do forever. I have an old laptop. I'm planning on donating it, and I'm trying to make a full backup of it and make it to the point where I can put it up in the cloud and be able to, mess around with it and have it even though I no longer have the laptop. It's just one of those things that gives you peace of mind. It helps me rest easy at night. So far, I've uploaded almost the entire C drive to the cloud, and then I'm going to be able to try and turn that into a VM. Um, I don't think I have any downloads going. I think I just finished that one. That's good. So, all right, so I can finish that stuff up later. Let's go get the emulator. So for streams this week, we are doing. Um, we're gonna do today. We're gonna do Neuromancer. That's definite. Wednesday, I haven't figured out what we're gonna do with Wednesday yet. We might stick with Pool of Radiance, or we might switch over to like a Diablo 2, just for the heck of it. Let's see, let's open this thing up and get this loaded. Um, Thursday night, I am planning on doing. Hey, Zaldra, good to see you again. Good. And speaking of the devil here, Thursday night we're looking at doing another World of Warships Thursday Night Thunder. So, looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a fun night. I had a blast doing it last time. That operations I finished off on a high note, man. Like that's just epic level. Like how on earth did I do that sort of thing? It was fun. It was definitely a lot of fun doing it though. All right. Is this right? Yeah, that's the right one, I think. Let's auto start that one. You got the Nagato. Good job, Zaldra. Glad to hear it, man. That is awesome. Get rid of that thing there. Yeah, the Tier 7 Nagato, I forget how fast it goes, but it's a good ship. It's one of the big seven. I believe it's got the 16-inch guns. I could be wrong on that. But it's good stuff. Um, Once you get to the Nagato, the next one after that is the Amagi, I think. Then you get the Izumo, which is it's an interesting one. The Izumo. It's like the Rodney or the Nelson with the all-forward gun layout design. It does a lot of damage, but I think it's also a little bit on the slow side. Um, but it's a tier 9 ship. You can't really argue with it, other than the Musashi, if you can get that one. But definitely, it's worth the grind to get up to Yamato, and that's where I'm at now. And I want to start grinding back up to that one eventually. Now that you got a tier 7, though, that's cool. So now we can grind on tier 7s a little bit, or you can go in tier 6 grinding from New Mexico. Work your way up through that. Um, I can grind a lot of the cruisers and destroyers, I think, because I know I'm lagging behind on a few of those. Oh, I don't know if that uh, the streamer Earwigs is going to show up tonight, but this would be like right up his alley because he was there the other night talking about we were talking about Wasteland, and the people who made Wasteland is Interplay, and that's the same people who make Neuromancer. So they came out with a good not a huge amount of games Interplay did, but the games they did come out with were amazing. I also felt I wanted to do Neuromancer tonight because um, I I got a little bit of a downside news, I guess, because um, let's see, you're saying I had to sell my New York to get the money to buy Nagato, huh? um, Once you get going in the game and stuff, and you start, cashing in on a lot of the flags and all the other things you can bring in on the containers and everything like that, you're gonna have so many credits to deal with that you'll be able to rebuy the New York if you really wanted to. But I'm with you in that because I don't have all the ships that I've ever earned. I've had to sell a few of them way back in the day. Why is this thing not loading? Is it? Oh, no wonder. Old game one, I think. Anyway, what I was saying before is that I was playing some games this weekend. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can finish off Cyberpunk 2077. I was sitting maybe one or two missions from the end, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and figure this out. I actually did a little bit of a look ahead to see, okay, what ending would I like to end this game on? Because I know they're coming out with a new DLC that's this later this month. In fact, actually, I think it's today that it comes out. Um, so I was like, all right, cool. Let's just finish this game off, and then I can consider getting the new DLC if I like it. It kind of looks pretty cool, so I'm like, all right, let's try this. So I go ahead, I start going down the final mission path. I decide the path I want to take. I start answering the prompts the way I want to. All looks good there. I get to a certain point there. I'm in cyberspace, and I'm talking to the person there in cyberspace. And then when I get through all the choices and stuff there, I'm like supposed to exit cyberspace, and it just crashes to desktop. So I'm at that point I'm frustrated. I'm like, all right, great. So let me spin it back up again and try again. And sure enough, it stops at the exact same point again. So I'm like, no good. I sent the crash report. I don't know if they'll ever fix it. It was an update 2.0 that they sent out just prior to the DLC. So with a 2.0 release of any type, that's going to have some bugs. So, all right, fine. I mean, we'll see if anybody recognizes it or not. I don't know if anybody's, playing that part of the game at that point. But it's frustrating. I certainly don't want to go back and do a whole playthrough. Even though the game is fun, it's a long game. I don't want to go through and do all the grind again. So if they can't fix the bug, screw it. I'll just say I finished it because I'm at that point now where all I got to do is the final missions. It's like one or two, I think, and then that's it. So what's the point? Um, so now I got to remember where the heck I was. We have $6,000. What? I could swear we had more than that. Hmm. We have the Ninja 4000. Let me see where we're supposed to be at. Go from there. Alright, so I have that. Um, do I not have... Let me go check the packs here. Hold on. I could swear we did the hack into um, Bank of Zurich or Bank Gemeinschaft. I could swear that we did that. Let's see. Banking interlink. Apparently not. Unless, oh wait, you know what? I know why. We did it, and then we bought the Ninja 4000 cyber deck because it cost a good chunk of money. So we're okay. All right, so we're fine. Let's exit system. We're fine there. So we should have our cyber deck. We've got, we gotta check software. What do we got for software? We have probe. We should have Comlink 6, Hammer 1.0. Who is it? I'm on a stream right now, Aurora. All right, folks, I will be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. um, yeah. going to be hard to get my mental state back here. All right, so we've got drill, hammer. Let me see if we've got all that. We are not in the right spot. Let's try and get back to this. We've got drill, hammer, decoder, blowtorch, probe, and sequencer. Okay. So we have the right software. Do we have the right skills? Let's see, ice breaking, right? We got psychoanalysis, logic, philosophy, phenomenology, sophistry, Zen 2, evasion 2, software analysis 2, debug 4. Yep, got all that. Always save the game before you enter the cyberspace. When you have left the cyberspace, always debug your software. Right. Okay, so I think we are good to go. We can go ahead and we can operate our Ninja 4000. Use our Comlink 6. Switch to disk 4. We want to enter cyberspace. Back to side 1. Okay, so here we are in cyberspace. For anybody who's new to this or anybody who has not seen this sort of thing before, this is what cyberspace has been imagined for many years. A lot of people thought that it would be this type of geometric wilder space, basically. You'd have all sorts of uh, kind of like a, not necessarily virtual reality, but a 3D augmented reality version of cyberspace, where you'd have databases you'd get into, you'd have access to them. You might have things you'd see for advertisements and stuff in 3D space and holograms and stuff like that. Your avatars would be floating around in cyberspace, and they'd have these programs that would act as like other avatars that go out and attack the other programs and things like that. That's the sort of thing that was imagined back in the 80s, um, back when the novel Neuromancer was written. And for anyone who's played the Cyberpunk RPG for Cyberpunk 2020, I think it is, this is what was all imagined. It was all this sort of thing. Nowadays, of course, that's drastically changed. In Cyberpunk 2077, if anybody's played that game, this sort of thing really doesn't exist. It's not like this anymore. It's more dark. It's more fragmented. It's not neat and tidy like this is. So anyway, to go over what we've got here on the screen here, we've got our coordinates here. The grid that we're in is grid 0. They're sectors basically. Your money is actually slowly dwindling, as you can see here. It's like an online charge. You're being charged $1 for every few seconds and stuff. This is my EKG meter, I guess, or your brain wave pattern. Right now it's green. We're good there. I believe this is the ice level in the orange here, and this is the deck protection that I have here. I have movement. I have my skill list, I believe, or the software list. It's software there. Skill list is right here. You can save the game here. This is the ROM construct, which we don't have. We can erase software. We can exit cyberspace, basically. What we see here in front of us is the grid pattern. So we move, by the grid, and it's I think every 16. I think it's 6. They move in increments of 16, I think, or 32. This little geometric shape that appears, in front of us is a database. Okay, it's this little gem-like thing that you see on the screen there. The fact that we're logging in from the cheap hotel tells me that this is most likely the cheap hotel database. Okay, so what I could do is go in there and crack it, and use my ice to break open the ice and hack in at the highest level of that database. I don't really need to do that for the cheap hotel though, because we already have the max level access to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the guide here, and we're going to go to the Panther Moderns and go to 224.112. So you can see us moving a little bit in terms of, units of 16. And this is 224.112. Should be this one right here, I believe. It asks us, do we want to enter the database? We could say no, and then it's just going to move us to the next grid point. But if we want to, which we do, we're going to enter the database. A nice cool little opening there. So we do need to be quick on this. We can't just like sit around and do nothing here, because the database will start attacking us. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a probe out at it just so I can get the information on the database, just to show what this is. For future ones, I'm not going to do a probe for here. I just want to show what can be done with this. Okay, so all right, so when we're in this menu, time is paused, so we can kind of show what's going on here. So what we see here is, again, a better graphical representation of the database. We've got the gem-like structure there, which is the actual database we're trying to get into. This blue circle around it at the bottom of it is the ice. So we want to be able to crack through that ice using our software and get into the database, okay? So we're going to use our software to do that. The first thing we're going to do is shoot a probe at it. And I'm getting my arrow right over it already, so I'm ready to go with another software attack. This is Panther Moderns level 1. So now I'm going to jump right in quickly here. And we're going to use, let's see, what software should we use on this? Let's use Drill. Drill's a pretty good one. Also, notice on the right-hand side that little orange bar. Okay, if you can see that, I'll try and highlight it over here. This orange bar is the level of ice that I have to crack through. Okay, these two little bars here indicate the strength. Okay, it goes from the very lowest, which we're at now, all the way up. So that the higher these bars go up, the stronger the ice is. A thing to note about this is that we're going to throw software after software at this thing. The more times we throw the same software at a piece of ice, or as at the database here in the ice protection, the more times we throw, like, say, Drill at it, the less effective it becomes. Okay, so we want to try and mix up our attacks, and try and do damage with a lot of different things, and have all that spread out so we can actually do something effective there. So we'll shoot Drill at it. And see, we got hit, right? I'm a little bit behind, but let's go ahead and do this. See, you can see on the bottom right-hand side here, this is the protection of my deck here, and this is the protection of the ice that I'm fighting. So we're going to go ahead and use another one. Let's try and use Hammer. And again, I'm just trying to kick in real quick here. Blowtorch. Still not cracking that ice yet. We really only have 3 programs that can do anything. I don't think Decoder... Actually, I take that back. I think Decoder can do something, so let's go ahead and use it. Still haven't cracked the ice yet. Back to drill. Still not there yet. Wow. Try hammer. Wow. It's weak stuff. So I'm just going to keep cycling through my ice until eventually I crack it, I think. Unless that or I flatline here. Wow. This thing really doesn't want to go down. There we go. So now we've dropped the lines on the orange, if you can see that on the right-hand side. We're going to take a hit, this next shot that's coming in, because again, I'm not optimized with this one because it's just kind of the first one. But you can see there's no more black down there, so that ice is now ready to go down. All I got to do is throw one more thing at it, and it's going to go. Okay. So we're okay. The green, sine wave that you see on the right-hand side, everything looks good there. We did take a hit, so we probably have a program or two to debug. No big deal. We can do that. So whenever we enter a database like this, we always get the highest level access. So let's go ahead and peruse a little bit. Now see, we've got some other cool software here like Blowtorch 3.0. We have Blowtorch 1.0. Obviously, this is an upgrade, so we're going to go after it. I'm pretty sure Mindbender and Chaos VideoSoft are just kind of troll pieces there that we don't need to worry about. Decoder 2.0, though, is good. Thunderhead 1.0 is a different program. That's actually like a poison program that you throw at the ice. So we're going to definitely grab that. What do they tell us to do here? So we grab cyberspace. To drill, hammer, blowtorch, decoder. Yep. Get blowtorch 3.0, decoder 2.0, and Thunderhead in the software library. The last program is a virus. Virus programs can only be used once, so load a few of them. Okay, so this Thunderhead one is a virus. It's a poison, basically. So we want to get a few of these because every time we use it, it disappears from our deck. So we'll grab a couple of these. That should be good for now. So we'll go into the BBS. I think there's probably more stuff here, or maybe not. Yeah, we got those. Nothing else beyond that. I think we're good. So we're going to go ahead and switch back. And what we're going to do now is jump out of the cyberspace really quick and repair ourselves, make sure we've got our programs debugged. We'll delete the older copies because we no longer need to keep those. And we will go right back into cyberspace once we're ready here. Okay, so instantly we're going to jump out because we don't want to keep bringing up the tab and keep charging ourselves money when we're just kind of sitting there. Want to be efficient. So okay, attach the disk image. Boom, boom. So now we go into our Ninja 4000. We will operate it. Let's see. So we got that. Probe 3.0. Oops. I think I need to use a skill first. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to use our debug skill. And now it's going to bring up our list of softwares. And we debugged it. Bugs fixed. Program okay. So in case it wasn't clear before, when you are in cyberspace and all that armor on your deck on that little bottom bar on the right hand side, bottom right hand corner, little rainbow bar, when that goes all the way to empty, you start taking hits on your cyber deck. And when that happens, you start getting programs hit and they crash. They get bugs in them basically. That's how this game operates here. So as you take hits, your software gets hit. Um, your mind starts getting a little bit fried and you could go flatline if you're not careful. So once you take those hits, you want to jump out, repair yourself, debug the program so you can fix them, get them all back to working, and then jump right back in. So now we're going to just stay clean on the software by erasing some of the ones that are old. Cyberspace 1.0 is a way to just kind of jump directly into cyberspace without having to go through the comlink thing, basically. It's kind of a superfluous program because you already have comlink 6.0. You don't really need it, but it can be helpful sometimes. We're going to keep those. We're going to get rid of blowtorch 1.0. We are going to get rid of decoder 1.0. There should be, let's see, blowtorch 3.0. We got that. Okay, we're good. So another thing to mention is the classification of the programs themselves. These are icebreakers that we're talking about now. There are three levels. They're good, better, and best. Okay, so the good ones are the ones we kind of have right now. Hammer, blowtorch, decoder. Those are good icebreakers. Okay, the better ones are things like doorstop and drill. We actually have drill, so that is a good mark on our side. The best ones are called concrete, depth charge, and logic bomb. Okay. Um, According to this walkthrough, the best is twice as good as the better, and these are again twice as good as good. Okay. So version number wise, they say that concrete 1.0 is equivalent to drill 2.0, which is a middle size, middle tier. Drill 2.0 is also equivalent to hammer 4.0. Okay, that's just the way the numbering works. So just think of it that way, version numbering wise. If we get concrete 1.0, it's like a drill 2.0, and it's also like a hammer 4.0. They say the rest of Zone Zero is rather useless, but two databases have AIs that you have to fight: World Chess and Psychologist. You should start with Psychologist. First, crack the ice as described above, but now you have better icebreaker and some virus programs after having used the icebreaking skill. Um, Use Thunderhead 1.0, which weakens the ice. Then use Blowtorch 3. Yeah, okay. So then the AI is going to appear. Okay, so all right, let's give that a shot then. So we're going to jump back in. Use that. Jump in. Again, by the way, if no one's done this yet, I highly recommend reading the book Neuromancer by William Gibson. It's probably going to be a little bit dated now, but if you have ever played Cyberpunk 2077, if you ever played this game, if you ever played any type of cyberpunkish game about the dark future and how gritty it is and all that stuff, read Neuromancer. That's the kind of it gives you that flavor. It really tells you like where the whole cyberpunk genre came from. It's books like that. Neuromancer, Burning Chrome, I think Count Zero. William Gibson's done a lot of them. There's a lot of other ones like Mad Max, of course, is the movie Mad Max. There's a lot of other source material out there that where cyberpunk is kind of drawn from all these 80s movies and books and stuff like that. I do recommend taking a look at them so you can kind of get a feel for where we kind of saw this dystopian cyberpunk future way back from the 80s and the 90s, and bringing it forward to today. So really interesting if you're curious about the history of it. All right, so we're going to give, first of all, you know what? Let's do a save here because we messed up. We should save. Game 1, that's fine. All right, now we got it saved. We need to go to psychologist first, 9632. Should be right here. Jump into that. Here we go. So I'm going to use the ice breaking skill so we can see what that actually does for this. Because it does give you a clue as to how you can fight the database and the ice that you're facing here. Now this is going to be our first battle with an AI, so this is going to be pretty interesting. Quickly jump in, take our ice breaking skill. Did it not work? Let's see. Use ice breaking, then click on your inventory. Okay, yeah. So I guess it's just to help you learn the ice breaking part of it. Okay, no big deal. The first thing we want to do is probably throw a thunderhead at it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So now you notice that the ice circle around the database has got a little green in it and stuff. That's the virus. That's the poison that's working against their ice, and it's going to slowly weaken that ice until we crack through it. So, excuse me. The next part is going to be blowtorch, drill, and decoder, they said. Don't necessarily have to go in that order, but we can do it. Blowtorch. And then we'll use drill. All right, so the virus has already finished off its program, so using another virus isn't going to help us here. We're going to go ahead and hit it with decoder. Probably have to repeat all these steps here. Let's hit with blowtorch. All right, so it's down now. There's no more ice left to break here. All we have to do is kind of crack it open now. So we'll hit it with a hammer. 1.0, that ought to do it. So now it's going to load up. And we face scary face. Your destructive tendencies clearly indicate a desire for attention. Now remember, we're in the psychologist database. Okay, so the AI is going to kind of reflect the database that you're in most times. In this case, it's like, hey, I'm a psycho, analysis type of person here. That's what the AI's personality is projecting here. So the way to fight this is you need to use the psychoanalysis skill to identify the weakness of it and then use that skill that exploits the weakness. Okay. Then you rotate through your other skills to keep hitting it. You can't protect yourself, but you can use Zen to heal yourself. Worst case, we can use evasion to bail out. Okay. Um, so we can go ahead and give this a shot here. We want to stay, quick on this. We want psychoanalysis, I believe, right? So its weakness is philosophy. So we're going to hit him with that first. Psychopath. Okay, so we got a little bit off track there, but you can see that it does have an ice level here that we have to break through using our skills, and it is hitting us pretty hard on the deck itself. So we need to stay on top of this as much as possible. Again, we could use evasion to get out, or we can use Zen to heal ourselves. Okay. Um, Logic, philosophy, phenomenology, philosophy, and just keep rotating through that. So we're going to go to logic next. Logic, as I recall, logic was one of those skills that really built up quickly and is really a good hitter against AIs in the end game. So we're going to use that. We're going to try and stay on top of this guy as much as possible. I think it's phenomenology, philosophy. Oh, so they actually rotate through philosophy every other shot. Interesting. Let's keep doing that then. And then we'll hit him with phenomenology. So right now our meter is in the green still, so I'm not worried about using Zen or anything like that. And I don't use any software at this point. So if he's hitting my software, I don't care. I can exit out and debug that most likely. I still want to, as long as I can use my skills, I'm good. And as long as the green meter, the little sine wave, my brain meter on the right-hand side doesn't turn red, we're okay. All right, so now I want to hit him with philosophy again, I believe. It's taking a while to get through them. So we hit philosophy, logic, phenomenology. Okay, so I think we can now hit him with logic again. Sophistry might be another one we can use too. Let's hit him with logic. Oh, moved wrong. Okay, so now I'm in the yellow now. That's not great. Keep hitting him with philosophy. Yeah, that tells me I need to use Zen right there. So we're gonna Zen up here. Okay, so now we turn back to green. But now we need to get back at him here. Let's hit him with sophistry. And then we'll hit him with philosophy again. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Hit him with logic, I guess. And then try phenomenology. Got him. I found some info out for GW2. You can learn more than 2 crafting skills. Interesting. Ah, an in-game extra slot for crafting. So it's buying stuff, I see. Okay, got it. You are nothing but a worm and you will die like a worm. Arg. So now we have beaten our first AI. What's going to happen now is we hit the button. Pew, 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 he goes away. And now again, we get into the database at the highest level access. And it goes through its whole thing about, well, this is what we saw before, the introduction to the psychologist and stuff. I think we read, let's see. Well, first we want to get the software. Let's go ahead and get the Thunderhead to replace the one we used. Read Snowman sample. I'm really getting worried, Alf. I was hanging out in the Matrix, just kind of buzzing the green cubes of the Mitsubishi B of A, when this thing started tailing me. That's never happened before, man, so I rack in another Mimic Soft and the thing stays behind me like a heat seeker missile or something. So I turn around and mimic into an IRS audit. It doesn't care. It speeds up. I toss a probe at it, and this thing eats it. I never see it again. I barely had time to jack out before the thing nailed me. It's getting so a cowboy can't crack a base anymore without setting off some kind of alarm. Thing is, I don't remember what I did to attract its attention. It's almost like it was controlled by some sort of intelligence. You don't think an AI could have? No, that's impossible. AIs can't wander around in the Matrix. Turing would nail them before they cross 2 grids. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Do you think I'm paranoid, Alf? Give it to me straight, I can take it. Diagnosis of third visit. Snowman, my friend, I'm getting worried too. I don't want to alarm you, but things like that just can't happen in cyberspace. Maybe you ran into a loose data transmission or something. I don't know. But I really think you're overreacting to what you perceive to be a threat. Maybe it's time for you to retire from cyberspace and get a real job. I think the strain of your illegal activities is directing itself into your paranoia. Visit me more often and we'll try to work it out. Um, I don't think we do we do the mind probe? Uh, there was no last session. Okay. Um, I'm not gonna go and do the other samples and stuff. That's really not. It's nice flavor text, but we don't need to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and jump back out. I'm gonna take a quick 2-minute break here so I can get another drink, and we'll continue on with this. Incidentally, the Zen, when you use it, I think it only is good for one use while you're fighting an AI. Um, Beyond that, I think it loses its effectiveness. So you can't like Zen up multiple times and constantly win the battle. I am curious what my software list looks like because we took a beating there. Oh yeah, look at that. We got four, five, six programs on the fritz. We're definitely going to have to jump out and fix those. And I do want to point out a word about what we just fought. It was an AI, okay? The AI that we just fought is actually called Chrome, which we'll find out later on in the story here. Um, I gotta use my debug, forget it. Just curious if my other skills jumped up at all. Yeah, see though, when I used my logic skill, phenomenology, philosophy, sophistry, they actually go up in levels, okay? Which is cool. Because you can use that now. Now your skills are getting better to be able to fight AIs, in the future. So you're actually getting better at being able to do that. So again, the AI that we fought is called Chrome, and um, as we're going to find out through this story, they actually talk to each other. There are multiple AIs in cyberspace hiding behind these databases. Okay. And this is the second part of the story. This is the part that's really, this is where we're really finding out stuff. So now all of the stuff up to this point has been like, strange things are happening in cyberspace. No one can really explain them and stuff. And then the idea is like, oh, could it be an AI? No, no, no. The Turing registry would be able to detect that and stop an AI in its tracks before it even got, rogue or anything like that. And now we're kind of finding out that's not the case. Okay. Now we're seeing that the AIs, they've kind of got a mind of their own and they're starting to um, branch out a little bit and start trying to rule cyberspace and fight for control. And that's what we're going to see with the story here. Okay. Give me like 2 minutes here. I'm going to go grab something to drink and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So if anybody's wondering about that break that I took previously, it's kind of what I've been talking about as to what's kind of bumming me out this weekend, which is just the babysitting. It just feels like I'm always doing it now, and it's tough. Uh, I love my grandkids. I love them to death, but man, there's every once in a while you just kind of need that little break, you know. When you don't get it, it can be frustrating. So anyway, let me get back into this. We're gonna jump back into cyberspace, and we are going to take on the next piece here. So the next one we're going to actually hit is the World Chess Database. If anybody remembers that one, this is the one where we uploaded battle chess to to their server, and we actually won a few credits, playing these automated games of chess. So now we're actually going to go into there, and we're going to fight another AI called Morphe. His weakness is logic, so we're going to hit him hard with logic a lot. Um, Interesting that there's a Turing registry database. I don't know if I've ever faced that one or not. I'll have to check that. Let's jump on in. Oops. I did it wrong. Come on. As a kid, this is kind of what I dreamed of um, when I thought about like the adventurous side of computers, I guess. Back in the 80s, there was definitely, thought about hacking and when you watch movies like War Games and other movies that are kind of based around um, computer tech at the time, there was always this perception of, being able to hack into the system, be able to do things that you normally couldn't do. Some of them were just really goofy, like I think the movie Think Big has a young girl who's just got this little handheld device that can pretty much hack anything on a lark. Like she can hack the stoplights and stuff like that, which is just, yeah, Johnny Mnemonic. All these movies from the 80s and 90s. And even today, like they're still pretty outlandish when it comes to hacking. Because real life hacking is nothing like this. But it's the dream. It's the romanticized dream of it, I guess, and that's what kind of led me not necessarily into the career path of computing, but it was always that part of me is like the adventurous path. Like, what would it be like if I could be a boy genius and just go in and say hack the Pentagon and stuff like that? That's what your mind kind of dreams about when you're a kid. Can you be that type of guy who's that smart to be able to hack into things like that? Where is Morphe? Morphe is at 160.80. Here you are. No. We're actually going to save first. Because I keep forgetting to save when I go into cyberspace. That's bad practice. Alright, now let's go ahead and hack into this. And we're still in zone 0, so we're not facing any harder software or any harder ice. But this is, the software that we have is enough to at least take this down. And now that we have a little bit more skill, we ought to be able to take down Morphe fairly quick, I hope. But getting back to the whole idea of the hacking idea and the mentality of it and stuff, that was kind of the fantasized version of it. We all dreamed of that sort of thing, of being able to write programs and be able to do these cool things. Let's go ahead and just jump right into this here. Throw Thunderhead at it. I'm gonna throw. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna throw drill at it, and I'll throw decoder at it. And now let's try blowtorch. There you go, and then finish it off with hammer. All right. It's a fool's mate, my friend. Surrender while you still can. Um, I remember playing this game and having to try and map out all this stuff too. Like you jot down where the databases were and what you were running into and if you hit an AI or not. And this was before you had the playthroughs available to you online and everything. So part of the adventure, I guess. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit you. Whoops, get on you. Um, we don't need to do psychoanalysis because I know this guy's weak to logic. So I'm going to hit him right away with it. Good move, he says. And let's keep hitting him with all the other stuff. The good news is that every skill you hit him with actually helps your skills go up. So by hitting him with phenomenology, for example, that's going to level up that skill if I beat him. We'll hit him with philosophy, and then we'll hit him with sophistry. Now we'll hit him with the logic bombs more. Let's hit him with phenomenology. Hit him with logic again. Keep spamming the logic, keep spamming the other ones. You know? Let's throw logic at him again. Let's hit him with sophistry. And we got a Zen. I surrender. The game is yours. Wow, that was a close one. If that hit had actually gotten through to us, we would have flatlined, I think. It's that close sometimes. That's why you have to, when you play this, you have to stay active and aggressive when you hit that button to hit the skill and keep, staying active with it because as fast as you can get in there, that's all about timing at this point. So now we're in at high level. We do want the software. According to the guide, we actually need Battle Chest 4.0 later. I think we might need to upload it for money or something, but um, that's that. We can't challenge Morphe, can we? Yeah, we're not ready for Morphe yet. I don't think we can enter a tournament, can we? I think what happens if we upload Battle Chest 4.0 at this point, it's going to say it's incompatible software or something. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So now the other interesting part to this is the AI message buffer. So now we see the AI names, Morphe being one of them, the one that we just defeated. He's talking to other AIs called Greystoke and Hal. So let's go ahead and see what they have to say to each other. The AI destruct program that Turing developed to destroy me is missing from their vault. I am unable to locate it. If you know where it is, inform me immediately. If it falls into the wrong hands, Neuromancer may win. This cannot happen. Ooh, Neuromancer. Who is Neuromancer? And then Morphe to Hal. I've intercepted an odd transmission on a frequency that isn't used much anymore. It seems to be from an AI who's a chess master, so I thought I'd let you know there might be some decent competition out there. He calls himself the Phantom. All right, so interesting flavor text there. It doesn't really tell us a whole lot except about this Neuromancer character now, as well as a couple other AIs named Greystoke and Hal. So now that we got what we needed out of that, we're going to go ahead and do this. Let's go switch sides here. Let that load up. Did we not do that? Side one. Okay, there we go. There was another game that I used to play that I really wish I could bring back and play, not necessarily competitively, but just to play for fun, like every week or something like that. It's a card game called Netrunner. The people who did Cyberpunk, I think, did it. I think it might have been a Wizards of the Coast game as well. I don't know. Um, I have most of the cards from the original set when they came out back in the late 80s, early 90s. They did a remake of it. I could never find anybody to play the game. It's tough because you have to have two people with the cards and stuff. You have to build decks for it, and then you have to kind of play each other. Um, and it can be tough sometimes because one side may want to play one side and the other one may want to play the other. But to me, I loved it because it's a lot like the cyberspace stuff you see here. It is it's all about, you're a net runner, you're trying to crack into the corporate database and steal their secrets and all that stuff, and the corporation's trying to advance their own agenda and keep the net runner out. So it's, a battle of two wills there basically. um, with that hacker mentality going in there, that was always the cool part of it. It was very um, not necessarily desperate, but very gritty, very, hey, I'm going to scrounge around and get all these resources to go and attack the corp, and the corp's very, high end and stuff. They got these ice programs. I'm sorry. The Netrunner has the icebreaker programs, and, it's all just a battle of, who can beat who there, I enjoyed playing the card game. I could never really find anybody who shared that passion with me about it, though. And it never really took off because, again, that whole cyberpunk dystopian genre, it's still, I mean, even looking back on it, it was still kind of niche. It never really became this worldwide phenomenon like Dungeons and Dragons did or Pathfinder did. It's just, it had its own little hardcore group of people, and those people loved it, and they still do. Um, it's just not nearly as widespread as, like you say, D&D or Pathfinder or even Shadowrun or any of the other ones. But I love it. I loved playing Netrunner and collecting the cards and then trying to come up with a strategy to be able to beat the corp, and stuff like that. If it's one game that I could, like, turn into a solo adventure where you just use those exact same cards but be able to play against an AI that I was able to create, I would love to do that. Um, I don't think I'm good enough to do that yet in terms of skill, and I certainly don't have time to do it. But I would love to be able to do a solo version of Netrunner, like on a computer or something like that. Anyway, so we have basically defeated. There are other databases here in Zone Zero, I think. These are the ones that the guide says, okay, these are the ones you really need to beat. So we're not going to go through and hit every single one because, again, we either have the access to it already or it's not really, crucial to the story. Now, I do know that we're in Zone Zero. We're clear here. To get to Zone One or any of the other zones now, we actually have to physically move. Okay, there is a piece of software that does allow us to traverse zones and cross over zone boundaries. We don't have that piece of software yet, so we kind of have to take our little goofy guy here and move along. And the way to do this is to actually go next door, and we're going to go to the Gentleman Loser, and we're we're going to jack into here. And for anybody who is interested in playing this game, I want to point out that if you see these little, I can't point it out with the marker here, but basically, let me try it with my mouse. These little yellow and red circular oval type things. These are the cyberspace jacks that you can use to connect into, um, cyberspace or the net if you want. If you have one of those there, you can jack in and you can go into whatever zone physically that you are at. So this one happens to be zone 1. So we're going to go ahead and pretend to sit down here and just jack right into this. Let's go ahead and save. Okay. Just take care of one thing here. All right. And let's go ahead and jump right in. I would like to read Neuromancer again if I get a chance. I do have the book with me. I just gotta dig it out and read it at some point. All the free time that I have. Okay, so they said in the guide that we should probably visit the Gentleman Loser database first because I don't think we have top level access. And I believe it's got software that we want. So it's 416.64. Jump into that thing. So we got to be on our toes here because now the ice is going to be a little bit tougher. You'll notice if you look at that orange bar on the right, the little black bar is going to be a little taller than the ones in zone 0. And our software doesn't automatically upgrade. So we actually have to find better software. And this might be a little bit more of a challenge. So we're going to have to just keep at it until we can break through. All right, here we go. Actually, we have to use our ice breaking skill, I think, don't we? I don't know why, but I guess we have to. Let's use Thunderhead. Stay on top of this. All right, so now we're going to hit it hard with Decoder 2.0. So again, thinking about the level of the programs and stuff, Drill and Decoder are better programs, not good. They're better than good. So now that I've used Decoder 2.0, the next shot I fire at it that's Decoder it'll seem like a Decoder 1.0 because again, the more you use a particular piece of icebreaker, the less effective it becomes. So now the next shot I fire of Decoder is going to actually be like a Decoder 1.0 instead of a 2.0. I won't show it on the screen, but you kind of get my meaning with this. So anyway, let's just keep hitting this thing with whatever we got. And just stay ahead of the game here if we can. Skip hammer, skip battle chess. Let's just go right to drill. Sequencer scout comlink. Hit it with drill. Yeah. This database is going to be a good one for us to get because we have slow in here, I believe. Drill. Decoder. Let's hit it with decoder again. I'll save hammer for later. Blowtorch. There goes probe. Let's hit it with. Oh, we can't hit it with drill. No, that's a problem. Hit it with hammer then. Hope for the best. This could be a problem here. Try blowtorch. All right, good. We got one shot at this. Let's hit it with decoder and be done. Good. Okay, so what we're going to get out of this database now is two programs. We're going to get another virus called Injector, which is a lot like Thunderhead, and then we're going to get another one called Slow, which is really good. Level 3 access. We'll look at the loser BBS. So this is, I think we read all of these already. Red Jack from someone. Yeah, okay. I think we read that one already. Sorcerer BBS. Did we? I think we read these already. Yeah, okay. I think let's start from this one. Oh yeah, we read that one already. And then the Matsumoto from Turing. We just happened to glance over your message to Dr. Asano here about this pet project. Yeah, we read these already. Okay. So now we want the software library. We don't want Pickup Girls 1.0. We don't need Blowtorch 1.0 or Hammer 1.0. We have Probe 3.0. Slow is what we want. We don't need Drill. And we'll take a couple of Injector 1.0s, I think. What it doesn't say is Injector any better than Thunderhead? I'm going to grab 3 of them. Okay. Worst case, I delete one. No big deal. We know where to get them from, so we're going to go ahead and jump out. And the reason why we jump out is because of our brain space here. Zen is not going to make that go away. The only way to make that go away is to get out of the net and heal. Oh, goodness. Get the guide back. Okay. I don't think we can show our stats, can we? No, we can't. So we'll exit out. It's going to tell me to change disks again. I know it. Okay, let's go ahead and fix our software. Good on those. So we have 8, 12, 16 programs. 12, 16. All right, so I think we have room for 4 programs still, which is fine. Let's go ahead and do a quick save of this. And keep up. All right, so now the next one they tell us to hack into Copenhagen University. which contains jammies, and doorstop 1.0, which we already have. Tsuzoku Imports has some icebreakers. Another virus, the IRS, SEA, and Eastern Seaboard Fishing Authority. Whichever you do first, if you have defeated one, your icebreaking skill will rise to 2. From now on, the icebreaking skill will rise by 1 level if you gain a victory in a new zone against an ice. That's interesting. What is my icebreaking skill? It is 2. Okay, so we definitely want to hit all of the ones that I just mentioned according to this, because apparently there's better software for all of it. So let's jump on those. Still doing fine on cash, which is good. I do want to mention one other thing, and it's a game that I might actually try to do on the stream. Um, Talking about hacking games and stuff. One of the best ones I have ever seen in terms of not necessarily being realistic, but being very challenging and fun to play is a game called Uplink. It's a pretty old game now, so it does qualify to me as retro, but it is a PC game, and I believe people have modded it. So there are mods out there that you can play as well, but the game itself is interesting in the sense that it does a lot of the stuff we're talking about here, only it takes it to a different level. It's not cyberspace, but um, the idea of hacking and being able to quickly grab files to in terms of hacker parlance of being able to obfuscate where you're coming from. It's one of the big things for anyone who's thinking about doing something like this, to be able to disguise where you're coming from so they can't trace anything back to you. Uplink does a lot of that. So um, and it's just cleverly done. The interface is pretty cool. The music is pretty cool. Just a lot of good stuff in that one. That's another game that I might try to do one day as another retro game for the hacking type of feeling. Um, there are other good hacker games out there. I've tried a few of them on Steam. I really haven't gotten deep into them, but there are some that are pretty well rated. They're actually closer to what hacking is really like in terms of like DOS commands and shell commands and things like that, which is really the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts of true hacking. It's not about point and click and do these things in Windows. It's really about getting into the commands and just blasting away and doing what you do to break into things. All right. Let's go to Copenhagen first. That's 32032. Oh, there's a database over there. I wonder what that one is. Should we hit this one? 368, so that's probably 380, 432. This is the Eastern Seaboard Fishing Authority. Um, could we hit that? Yeah, I guess we can hit this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit it. Again, the software in the zone pretty much stays the same. So if you can break one, you can break them all, most likely. And all the ones that I just mentioned here, they don't have AIs. So um, there is an AI in a couple of the ones in Zone 1 here, which we'll attack later once we get the software. There's one in NASA, which is HAL, the one we just saw actually. We saw a reference to HAL previously, which, kind of makes sense if you happen to know 2001 Space Odyssey. You remember that computer was called HAL in that movie. Spaceborne, so of course it's NASA. That makes sense. I don't think we need to use icebreaking here, but I will. Let's go ahead and do this, and then quickly, let's use injector. Throw that at him. And really get on top of this guy. Oh, and let's use slow while we're at it. Now watch what happens when I use slow. You notice that he's not attacking me as fast as I'm attacking him now. That allows me to get a few more attacks in per shot here. Let's hit him with hammer. And throw drill at him. Let's hit him again with let's hit him with blowtorch, then decoder. He's about to crack through my protection, but I'm staying on top of him now. He's not really going to kill me. Let's hit him with drill. Probably not going to be that effective. There we go. We got him down. What to break him with now? Let's hit him with a blowtorch. Bye-byes. Good trivia question for anybody who's wondering about this. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, the computer was called HAL, as I mentioned. There's actually a real reference in life to how they got the name HAL. And I'm curious to see if anybody knows how they did that. Like, how did they come up with the name HAL for that movie? We did this company news software library. Thunderhead 2.0. Now that's what we're talking about. Problem is I can't delete software. That's the stinky part. I can't delete it while I'm in here. So we're just going to grab what we can and use it. I think 4 is enough. If I go another one, I think it's going to say it's full. Oh, I guess not. Because I used one, that's right. Now I'm full. Okay. And we don't need 5.0, so we're good there. Let's check the messages. I think we read most of these already. Yeah, we've read all that. We're good there. Let's exit. So we will put side 1 in. So, to answer the trivia question about how did they come up with the name HAL in 2001: A Space Odyssey? Okay. For those who aren't aware of this, when you look at the letters HAL, H-A-L, okay, um, they each of those letters represents a specific number in the alphabet. Like A is 1, that's the first letter in the alphabet. I think H is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. H is 8, right? And so on. So each of them has a specific numeric position in the alphabet, right? H-A-L. All right. If you advance to the next number, the next position in the alphabet on each of those letters, what do you get? Okay. If you advance the H, you get an I. If you advance the A, you get a B. If you advance the L, you get an M. So the answer is they took IBM, which was, International Business Machines back in the day when they made the movie. They were a very popular computer company and very well respected in, computing machines and stuff in the 60s. And they took the name IBM and they just upped it one letter to get HAL. And that's how they came up with HAL. The more you know. All right, let's do some debugging here. got some Thunderhead 2.0s. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cycle through the Injector 1.0s and the Thunderhead 1.0s, ultimately deleting them to the point where we no longer need them. Because right now our deck is full. We could go get a more expensive deck later if we really wanted to, but I don't think we need to. How much do we have left here? We have Thunderhead 2.0s. We have two 1.0s of Injector, a Thunderhead 1.0 there, another Thunderhead 1.0. All right, so we have four. Four to get rid of. Okay. What I'm concerned, well, I think Copenhagen might be the next logical stop because I think we can get a piece of software and use a piece of software to offset what we pull up from that. So let's exit. Let's save the game just because. All right, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and operate this. Cyberspace, jump right in. It's definitely not feeling 100% yet. Still feeling pains in the back and the chest and area. Oh wow, it's 10 o'clock already. Jeez. Okay, we gotta move. We want to go to Copenhagen, which is 320.32. This we just did. That was Eastern Seaboard Fishing Authority, so we're gonna keep moving. Here comes Copenhagen. I do love the fact that they made different shapes for each of the databases. Not uniquely different, but they do alter them a little bit. I thought that was a nice little touch too. Oh, I'd like to get at least through zone 1 here. Just looking ahead here a little bit. Ugh. I don't know if I can get through zones 1, 2, and 3 here. Because the way they've divided up in the guide is they've got zones 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3. It's part 3. And then the last part of this game is zones 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the end game. Which I was hoping to do this in maybe 2 sessions. But if I'm going to do that, that means I got to get through zone 1, 2, and 3 tonight. Which may not happen. Be realistic here. Whoops. Let's get on track here. So we're going to first hit with ice breaking, and then we're going to hit with, get on it. Get him with slow. Slow is a lifesaver in this game. Slows down those attacks, and if I did it right, if I had done it faster, I probably would be even less likely to take hits here. Let's hit him with Decoder 2.0. And then Blowtorch. Then let's hit him with Drill one time. Let's hit him with Hammer, just to mix it up. Hit him with decoder again. And then follow up with blowtorch. Darn. This thing is tougher than I thought. So I've hit him with decoder twice. I've hit him with blowtorch. At this point, it's really just a matter of just whatever. So I'll hit him with decoder a third time. There he goes. Let's throw the hammer at him. Grah. Bye-byes. Now, Copenhagen University is not one of those ones that we discovered playing the game previously. This is only, it seems to only exist in cyberspace. There's no link code to it that I know of. The Copenhagen message space. We welcome all free thinkers and students of life. Level 2 access. Let's go ahead and peruse this a little bit. Our polar bears finished their blood sport season 12 3-1. Lars Mobutu finished the final game despite nearly having his left leg severed halfway through the first day of competition. Doctors report his replacement will work almost like new, and we hope he'll be back for cross-country competition in the fall. Cyberspace and addictive personalities, blah, blah, blah. Computers can be addictive and very time-consuming, but she reports no hard evidence that computers are harmful. Computers are the soul of current society. To embrace them is to embrace life itself. She also pointed out that pseudonyms used by so-called cyberspace cowboys are merely a manifestation of their true selves and no different from the Japanese custom in which samurai would adopt new names repeatedly during their careers. They are exploring why the cyberspace operators are dropping out of the communications network. We're focusing our study on withdrawal symptoms and feelings of rejection on the networks. Something is out there is alienating users, and we hope to determine what it is. The research, funded by a grant from Tessier Ashpool, funneled through their Allard Technology subdivision, begins immediately. That's an interesting note, because there is Tessier Ashpool in this game that we can go and investigate later. Lars Mobutu from Death Angel Shadow. Great game, Lars. Sorry about those fingers you lost in the last period. I guess you won't be typing back a reply that quickly, will you? Hope the spare parts shop in Copenhagen is better than the one in Chiba City. The pancreas I got sucks. Check this out. Watch, he's actually wrote back, I think, too. We'll get to him in a second. Saw a bit of your paper delivery the other day. Think I got most of the French. Hit the nail on the head. No harm in Dex. Promote intellectual development. Right. The response back from Lars Mobutu. Thank you for your message about the game. You're right. That losing fingers on my left hand will make for difficult writing, but I will try. I enjoy the game. My leg is a lot better now. I don't won't barely limp. Bye for now. So yeah, those lost fingers on the left hand kind of stink. So a message to us from Death Angel Shadow. It's getting really spooky out here. Was supposed to get some information from the Sumdiv kid, but he's gone null. Have you seen him? And number 5 from Death Angels. All you new Moes, remember that all icebreakers aren't created equal, so being the cool guy that I am, I leave the following info for all. We've kind of covered this already, so we need to go. It's just the same stuff I just talked about. Good, better, best. Same type of software, so we're good. Let's go to the software library. Pull that up. Don't need comlink. Don't need decoder. Wait. Oh. 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 Crap. I forgot. I have decoder. I don't have doorstop. Rats. Jammies is a good one too. We kind of need both of them. Problem is I can't go in and I can't erase software at this point. So if I try to download Jammies, it's probably going to tell me no. Yeah. So I'm going to have to crack into this one again, I think. But now that I got doorstop, I should be able to do something with that. Blah, blah, blah. Heinrich maneuver. Fun. All right, we'll exit this one. Drive 8, disk 1. Foiled again. La 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 la. So we do have to bump out of here, which is fine. I'll dump one of the Thunderhead 1.0s or Injector 1.0s and just make room for the jammies. It's fine. Totally fine. Everything's fine. Having doorstop gives you another option, though. If I remember correctly, doorstop is better. It's better than the decoder. And jammies, I remember jammies, that actually temporarily halts the ice from attacking you. It doesn't last long, but it's long enough to give you a little bit of time and a breather to go ahead and fire another program before it can fire back. So it allows you to kind of catch up on that timing if you're falling behind. All right, decoder 2.0 is fine. So yeah, doorstop is equivalent to drill, which is the better category. We don't have concrete depth charge or logic bomb yet, unfortunately, but we will get there. Let's go ahead and erase a piece of software here. Actually, do we need to do that? We don't. Technically, we don't. We can just use one of the injectors and go right back in. So let's do that. Cyberspace. Give me that one. Side 1. Do. Go to it. Back over to Copenhagen. Nope, skip that one. We need to go to 320. So I can see I could see us doing this on Wednesday possibly. Like going back to Neuromancer on Wednesday evening and then doing Thursday Night Thunder with World of Warships, I'm thinking. It's possible we might do it that way, or I still don't know about that Wednesday stream. If I feel like doing Neuromancer and keeping up the momentum with this, then maybe I'll do that. If I need a break from it, then I'll just do either Diablo or Pool of Radiance for now. Let's throw Injector 1.0 at this thing. Let's try that doorstop. Really pound this thing. Now hit it with drill. If we're lucky, we can hit this thing so hard that it won't even get through to us. Hit it with blowtorch. And then hit it with decoder. Hit it with hammer. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with doorstop again. Yeah, they are going to get through to us. But now we took it down without... We're only going to take one hit. And one program got bugged, which is no big deal. So we'll jump in, grab jammies, get out, and then we'll get out and go right back in real quick, just so we don't mess around with this thing. Save it and all that. Software library. Go ahead and give me jammies. Beautiful. Oh, probe 4.0. Crap. Do I need that? They don't say you need it. Well, whatever. We'll just move on. They don't say you need 4.0, but it's fine. We won't try for it. If it comes up later, then I'll worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it right this second, though. I'm thinking ahead to like the holidays now. I'm kind of hoping that I have enough energy and desire to do like a stream every night type of thing, you know? I would love to be able to do that. I'm not, one day at a time, yeah. Amen to that. I'm just looking ahead to like time off, honestly. um, just the whole 5-day work week thing. I really wish we'd move to like a 4-day work week and we weren't doing like 40, 45 hours a week, 50 hours a week. I wish our society would kind of evolve to that, but we're not there yet. And not to get political or anything, but I've heard people talk about the idea of raising the retirement age to whatever it is now to something higher, and I'm like, are you guys nuts? You know, um, people retire at like what, 67 sometimes, 65, 67. Sometimes they'll retire at 70, and like the average life expectancy is what, 76, 78. What kind of a retirement, a golden year, do you consider that to be if you're going to retire so late towards your life expectancy? It's silly, you know? Not all of us want to keep working. You'll have to work till you're 70, yeah. I've thought about that. Like, you know, am I going to have to do the same thing, you know? Um, I am planning on meeting with a financial advisor eventually, to plan, you know, what our retirement should look like. Because I figure, you know, I got a couple decades before I got to hit that number, and I want to make sure that I'm planning right for it because I'm not one of those people that wants to work till I die. I really don't. Um, to me, there is so much more to life than work. And it's not a knock on the company I work for. I still love the company I work for. Literally, I love it. And I don't say that often about companies I've worked for over the years, but this one I really do love. I hope it, you know, stays that way. But at the same time, it's not my livelihood. It's not my life. You know, my life is to me knowledge, learning, um, spending time with the people you care about, um, finding new ways of enjoyment, mostly the learning and the renaissance type of thing. I love learning new things, even if it's not something that's right within my wheelhouse, you know. And I do like to think of myself as a Renaissance man, even if I don't have all the skills and stuff as that someone might consider that. Oh, you're quite welcome, Foxfire. I know you got to take off, so I appreciate that. If you got to take off, go right ahead, man. I'll catch up with you probably tomorrow. But getting back to my point, the I consider myself a Renaissance man in the sense that I want to learn all sorts of different things. I don't feel like my mind is constrained to, oh, I'm only good at computers, or I'm only good at this, or I'm only good at that. I believe all of our minds are capable of learning a whole lot of things, you know? Um, if you want to learn how to be a good chef, I think you can do that. If you want to learn automotive repair, I think you can do that. It's really just a matter, in my opinion, I think it all comes down to how we limit ourselves. You know, um, if we think that we can't learn something, then we can't. You know, on the other hand, if you think you can learn something, then what is really stopping you? You know, there might be some concepts that are so difficult to comprehend. Yeah, I get it. Maybe there's stuff that's really that challenging. But to me, if you have enough time and enough patience, and hopefully some way of being able to comprehend the information you're given, eventually you will learn it. You know, um, so don't feel like you're ever at the point where you have to shortchange yourself and say, I can't learn that. Take can't out of your vocabulary. You can learn stuff. You can learn about all sorts of topics of knowledge and stuff. And to me, that's the most fascinating part, is to be able to learn all of these things. There's so many things to learn about in the world today, you know? Topics of science, of history, of um, all sorts of different like practical topics like home repair, automotive repair, learning how to cook, learning new different ways of, creating art. Streaming, is one of the things I had to learn. There's so much out there that it's, to me, like there's more knowledge than you could possibly learn in a single lifetime. But it's fun to try, in my opinion. And that's what I would much rather spend my time on with the time I have left on Earth, as opposed to like throwing myself at a job that in my opinion it doesn't reward me as much as like learning something new would, and to those who might want to say, well, your job could teach you things. I mean, yeah, it can. You can learn new skills at any job depending on if you have the capability and the opportunity to do so, but usually it's all related to the job. When you do that, how much are you really learning for yourself versus what the company you work for wants you to learn? It's nice if those dovetail really nice and you enjoy what it is you do, and you also are learning something that benefits not only the corporation that you work for, but for yourself. That's great when that all works together nicely. Um, but there are things where you're kind of learning something for the sake of keeping your job too, and that's not fun, you know? Um, anyway, enough of my rambling here. Let's go on to Tozoku imports here. This one should be Tozoku. There should be some better icebreakers in here, so we'll go ahead and hit this. Again, I don't need to use those Thunderhead 2.0s yet, in my opinion. I'm just going to try and, whittle through what I've got here and replace the software I've got with the newer versions when I see them. So I might need to do a couple of whacks at this one in case there's more than one piece of software I need to download, but I'll plan for it so we don't have to do it more than twice. Whoops. Let's throw, I lost focus for a second here, and that's going to hurt me a little bit. Let's throw slow on real quick. Yeah, they got one good attack in. I could throw 2-0 on them, but I think I'd rather go and waste these Thunderhead 1.0s right now. Hit them with doorstop. Then hit him with drill. Oh, I can hit him with jammies too. Let's hit him with jammies. So because he just hit me and he's about to fire his next attack, but I hit him with jammies, that's the perfect opportunity. Now it's going to delay him from attacking me just a little bit, but it's enough for me to throw my software out there and get ahead of the cycle. See that? See how he just delayed a fraction there? It's not much, but it can help. And when you can get higher levels of these software programs, it makes a big difference. I should have thrown decoder at him. I haven't done that yet. Let's throw decoder at you. There you go. And let's just finish him off with doorstop. Heck with it. Took a couple hits there, but we'll debug that. No big deal. Level 2 access. Let's get right to the software library. Don't need blowtorch 1.0 or decoder 1.0. Blowtorch 3.0 we have. Drill 2.0 is nice. We got to have that. And acid 1.0, I don't know if acid 1.0 is better than Thunderhead. I can't get it anyway, but I've got drill 2.0, which is a good upgrade. And we can delete drill 1.0, use another Thunderhead 1.0, and then we should be good. Breaking and entering. Look at this. These guys aren't even like hiding it. They're going to break into Hosaka. Seduction of Musabori executive. Yeah. This is cyberpunk for you, man. This is what the corps do. The dirty stuff. Three men and a baby moving a contraband. Message base. Let's check this out. I think we looked at these already. Some very sneaky things they're doing here. This is the link to Bozo Bank we saw. All right, let's move on. All right, so we need to jump out. We'll do a quick debug. We're actually going to get ahead of the game a little bit here by deleting drill 1.0. We'll use another injector or Thunderhead 1.0. And then we'll start downloading Acid 1.0. We should be able to download 2 of them to keep up on that. 48080 is where we're going to get to. Side 2, right? Yep. I really wish there was a way I could hotkey the disk swapping so that I could just boop, hit a key and be good to go. I'll have to look to see if I can do that. Let's do some quick debug. All right. Anything else? No, we're good. All right, so we're going to operate this. Going to erase it. And we're going to erase Drill 1.0. So we have a Thunderhead 1.0 we can use. We will use that. Yes to this. Exit that. And then do a quick save. Okay. And now we should be good, right? Just operate this and go in. By the time we crack this database, we'll have 2 slots open. We'll download 2 acids with that and just jet out. And then we'll move on to the next one. So I apologize for anyone who's hoping for a little bit more comedy out of this stream. I'm just not feeling it tonight. I'm trying, but it's hard to feel it, you know. It really is hard sometimes to get fully into the stream sometimes when you're just kind of making up comedy and making up funny things and stuff. I'm just not there tonight. It's just really therapeutic just to kind of go through this right now. Um, it does help to kind of relive some of the past sometimes when I'm playing these games. It helps a little bit. Um, I do wish I could make a little bit more back and forth on this. I think the Thursday stream will help with that. I'm hoping that Zaldra will be able to guest star a little bit for us, so we'll be able to talk instantly through voice. Um, if that doesn't work, we still have the other options to communicate, so it won't be a loss. But we'll see if we can go ahead and have him guest star onto this. Let's go ahead and just jump right into slow here. Let's not even waste time. And that's going to help us in the long run. Thunderhead, right? Yep. I think that's my last Thunderhead 1.0. And then hit him with doorstop. I want to hit him with jammies at this point. Jam him up a bit. That'll slow him down just enough. We'll hit him with drill 2.0. That'll really hit him hard. And then hit him with blowtorch 3.0 probably. And then hit him with decoder 2.0. Still not there yet. Let's hit him with drill 2.0 again. There he goes. Let's finish him off with hammer. Nice. Honestly, I'm thinking that the best I can do tonight is finish off zone 1 because of how long it's taking me to do each of these databases. So we will just kind of go as far as we can with this, and then we'll pick it up next time. The good thing is that we're in the flow of hitting the cyberspace databases now. This is the march toward the end game that we're looking for. All right, we do need to jump out because I think we took some hits there. We'll do a quick repair and get back in. So the next one we need to hit is, oh wait, did we already do them all? We hit loser, we hit Copenhagen, we hit Tozoku. Oh, we haven't hit SEA yet, C. When we hit that one, jump out of that. When we hit C, that'll be the last one to hit. The next ones are going to be the AIs. We do want to hit the AIs because they have good software there. Yeah, it's interesting. They recommend a different type of order that attacking. They actually recommend in the guide here that we go with the ice breaking skill first, followed by um, jammies, believe it or not, to jam up the ice. Then you follow it up with slow, and then you hit your virus, and then your best icebreaker. I might try that, see if it just works a little bit better or not. 'We are debugging. 8, 12, 16, 20. Yep, that's all of them. Do we have any other ones? So it's just Acid 1.0 and Thunderhead 2.0s that we have now. I think we'll be using a Thunderhead 2.0 on C. Let's jump into that. I don't know what C has really, so we'll find out when we get there. SEA is at 352.64, so we'll go ahead and go there first. Ideally, if we don't take any hits to our brain when we hit this next one, then we can go straight into probably Citizens for a Free Matrix, which we have to attack that AI first so we can level our skills up so we can take on Hal next. 3, what did we say? 352.64. It's this little pyramid thing right here. There we go. So again, skill first, then jammies, then slow, then our virus, and then our best breaker. I would like to get through Hal if I can tonight, and that would be a great stopping point in my opinion. Okay, let's do the ice breaking. Hit him with jammies. Logically, it makes sense because you hit him with jammies and that slows him even further. Gives you a chance to hit him with slow, which slows his timing down even further. Although it really didn't in that case, but that's alright. But now we're going to hit him with Thunderhead 2.0 this time. That should be a much more effective one than Thunderhead 1.0 or Injector 1.0. Best icebreaker is Drill 2.0, so we're going to hit you with that. Then we'll hit him with Doorstop. Then we'll hit him with Blowtorch. There he goes. The virus is going to wind up taking him out, I think, before we even get a chance to shoot him. Let's hit him with Hammer. There he goes. Virus took him out. And we did not take a hit to our cyber deck, which is great. That armor that you see on the cyber deck, that will replenish itself in the next battle. At least it should, I think. Top secret. Level 2 access. Beautiful. I don't think there's any skills I can pick up, right? I think I already have this. No? Okay, so I'm level 4 Cop Talk. Great. Software library. Thunderhead 2.0. Sequencer 1.0 we have. Yeah, so it's just replacing Thunderhead 2.0. Great. Yeah, let's just pick it up. Why not? Exit to main. There's not much here, I think. We've already kind of trolled all of this. We did that. The memo we did. Skill upgrade we did. The arrest warrants. Um, I thought there was an arrest warrant thing we did for Larry Moe, but I think that was for something else. Anyway, let's get out of here. We can go straight to CFM now. We'll go ahead and do that fight now. I kind of wish Cyberpunk 2077 had this type of system still in place instead of the um, net running component that they have now. I mean, don't get me wrong, the net running thing is kind of cool with what they did in the game. It is kind of cool, and it does integrate a lot of the stuff from Cyberpunk 2020 into that futuristic version now. Like for example, in Cyberpunk 2020's role-playing game, there was the opportunity to do things like hack a stoplight or hack a camera, so you could help your teammates with their mission, whatever it was. If they were breaking in somewhere, the netrunner would be doing all these things to hack the computers, hack the cameras, hack all the surveillance, so your guys could get in undetected and sneak in, sneak out, and all that. That was in the original Cyberpunk 2020 role-playing game. With Cyberpunk 2077, you kind of get that all together in one package now. So you can sneak in, use your net running skills to hack cameras and do the same thing. It's just you're not doing it through the net like they had originally intended in Cyberpunk 2020. And I understand why they did it. I just miss that. I miss this aspect of it. And I wish they had done like a modern day version of this in Cyberpunk 2077, because it would have been just killer, I think, to see all this in modern day graphics, to have that type of RPG stuff go into this. It probably would have been a killer combination had they done it. Where is CFM? 352 112, huh? So it's around this one, huh? I'm going to save this here just real quick. Oh, I am tired. All right, so we got that. And let's go and jump into this now. All right, so again, we want to crack CFM. This one's called Sapphire. The AI is called Sapphire. The weakness is Sophistry. So we're going to hit him hard with that one. And we're going to use all the skills so we can level up all our skills and be ready to take on Hal, whose weakness is Logic. All right, so moving on. Go ahead and enter that database. I don't like the combination that I did with jammies and slow. I think I'm going to reverse that. Only because the jammies really didn't do anything. It stopped it for a split second, but it had a normal attack before I could hit him with a slow, which you don't want to have happen. What you want is to have him slow down from the very beginning. So my argument is hit him with slow first. They're constantly slow, and then hit him with jammies when it makes sense, so you can delay that next attack coming at you. Do our little ice breaking, and then this. Hit him right with the slow. Can't wait till it gets slow 2.0. It's gonna make it even better. Um, let's hit him with another Thunderhead 2.0, I guess. I don't think I can hit them with jammies here. It's gonna get through. So let's hit him with Drill 2.0. Yeah, see, it would have gotten through. Doorstop. Hit him with that. And then hit him with Blowtorch. And then Decoder. Now I want to hit him with jammies here, actually. Not that it matters, because his database is going to go down. There it goes. But the timing, if you can hit him before that shot just hits you, it works out for the best, because then jams him up. Death comes only once to a sane person. A fool dies many times. I don't know if I follow the logic on that one. Okay. Anyway, let's go. CFM, that's right, sophistry is the one I need right now. So we're going to go right at him with it. Don't need the psychoanalysis. Let's just go right at him with sophistry at level 3. Hit him hard. Terrorist. Oh, you're moving fast, dude. Hit logic next, because we know that one needs to level up. And then we're going to hit him with phenomenology. And then we're going to hit him with philosophy. None of these are going to be any good. Cryptology, nope. Logic, it's just really those 3: sophistry, zen, and musicianship. I don't know about musicianship. I don't know why I even have that one, but I don't think it's one of the skills you can attack them with. Let's hit him with sophistry again. And then logic again. Just keep trying to hit him. It's a shame that slow doesn't work on him, because you can't use the software at this point. Let's use philosophy next. And then we'll hit him with phenomenology. Just keep rotating the circle here. Oh, he's almost down now. So we should be able to hit him with a sophistry on this shot and kill him. There he goes. Look at your wave goes crazy. My Lord Greystoke will avenge this insult, you carbon-based scum. Bye, Sapphire. Alright. Citizens for Free Matrix, level 2 access. Let's see what you got here. So, just a word of caution for anybody who is trying to play this through. All the software here on Citizens for a Free Matrix is crap. It's corrupted, basically. You can't use it. It doesn't do anything good for you. It's a trap, I guess they call it. Really, the only purpose for attacking this first was to level up our skills so we can take on Hal next. So we'll just go ahead and do some reading here. So we have Greystoke and Neuromancer now, all right? As the AI Sapphire reported, Lord Greystoke, so it's apparently somebody that this AI reports to. So Greystoke is writing to Sapphire saying, it seems you are having considerable success with your cowboy trap. The attempts to download your software virus into their matrix simulators is destroying large numbers of illegal programs which could be used against us. There are rumors of a deck protection program which has the ability to deflect your virus, but I have been unable to locate such a program, so I cannot verify its existence. Continue as before. And now we get to hear from Neuromancer. I support your methods of cowboy prevention, but your seeming alliance with Greystoke troubles me. Consider the alternatives if Greystoke's great plan should fail. And remember who holds the real power in the Matrix. Ooh. So you can see there's kind of a power struggle here between Greystoke and Neuromancer now. Right? It sounds like they're two AIs, really, or some other parties perhaps, but it kind of sounds like it's AI versus AI versus AI here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's exit the system. I'm going to jack out real quick, and then we will repair everything up, and then we will go ahead and jump into the battle with NASA and Hal. I do want to jump over to my health so you can see what happens when we reach that red state there. If I do this, that's my health, 591. So it's probably lower than 591 when I, click that button. Remember, my scale goes from 0 to 2000, so it was fairly low, probably in the 400s when I jacked out of there. So you only have so much health you can work with here. So let's go ahead and, while that's doing that, let's go ahead and debug. Anything else? Battle chess. All right, so we have room for one program if we need it. Wait for us to recharge, because we are going to need all of our health for the next one. And then we're going to go to NASA, which is at 448.32. This is going to be the attack on HAL. They have Python 2.0, which is an acid attack, kind of like the virus attacks we've been hitting. They have Blowtorch 4.0. They have Decoder 4.0. So there's good software there, and we do want to prep for it. So Python 2.0 is like Thunderhead 2.0 most likely. Blowtorch 4.0 we're going to want and replace Blowtorch 3.0. Decoder 4.0 we're going to replace Decoder 2.0 I think with. So we should probably clear out a couple spots in our deck for this stuff. We have, if I'm not mistaken, 4, 8, 12, 16, 19. Okay, so we have one spot available. Let's say we take Python 2.0 with that. We have 4 of these. What can we get rid of? We don't want to get rid of these things yet because we still have to hack in. Though I'm kind of thinking we could. Can we get by with drill, doorstop, and hammer as our icebreakers? That's asking a bit much. It's kind of, I think it's possible to do it. But we're probably going to use acid 1.0 on this thing. So I need to have at the very least 3 spots. Ideally 4 if I want to have 2 Pythons in there, 2.0s. So I have 1. I think we can get away with getting rid of Decoder 2.0 because we can probably break into this thing without it. And then if we have 2 slots, we're going to delete blowtorch 3.0. If we delete decoder 2.0 and try and get by without it, well, that's a bit risky. It is a bit risky. And going into zone 2, we could load up on software in zone 2. We're gonna see. I'm looking ahead. We're gonna have Hammer 4.0, Concrete 1.0, which is big, Slow 2.0, Injector 2.0, and Mimic 2.0. I've never used Mimic. I have no idea what that does. That's interesting. So we will. What to delete now is the question. I'm kind of semi-inclined to delete Hammer. We have two Acid 1.0s. We should probably delete one of those. Yeah, let's delete one. I'm going to use... you know what? Let's just delete them. Let's just delete them. Let's make our lives a little easier. We're going to use a Thunderhead 2.0 on NASA. So now we have 17 out of 20. We have 3 slots open. We're going to use a Thunderhead. That'll get us to 16 out of 20. We'll download 2 Pythons, the blowtorch decoder, delete blowtorch and decoder old versions. That'll give us 2 slots available for the next zone, which gets us concrete slow 2.0 at the minimum. And then we can work on getting the rest of the stuff. We won't be able to get our big cash payday yet. I'm just, yeah, okay, so zone 3 is where you can do the huge bank heist, which will allow you to buy the top of the line cyberspace deck. So we're going to work towards that. All right, good. So let's do a quick save just in case. So this is going to be the final battle tonight. We're going to hit NASA, and then that's going to be it. And then the next time we do this, we're going to hit Zone 2. And Zone 3, hopefully the next session. That'll allow us to really upgrade things. Overall, I'm happy that we've made the progress we have tonight. We're actually doing quite well. Whoops, I missed my little cyberspace thing here. NASA's at 448.32. It's not far from us, is it? There it is. This little pyramid thing to the right. Here we go. So we want to attack this thing. We're going to hit it with a Thunderhead 2.0. We should be able to crack it easy. It's taking on Hal is going to be the challenge, I think. We should be leveled up enough on logic and other skills to be able to knock him down fairly quick, I think. But let's see. Use our ice-breaking skill. Again, I don't know how well this works, but they say use it first, so okay, we're going to do it. Hit him with a thunder... no, not Thunderhead. We want to hit him with slow first. Now hit him with Thunderhead. Now hit him with, let's hit him with drill first and then doorstop. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong button. Doorstop. I'm going to hit him with jammies, I think. Try and get that timing back. Hit him with blowtorch. There we go. Should be able to take him out now. Let's give Hammer the honors. Okay. Now it's skill time. Now again, if you were going to do this and you didn't know any of the AIs, you want to figure out what their weakness is, you'd use psychoanalysis first and then try to use whatever skill they recommend on that as the top skill you want to attack with. And of course, being Hal, Dave, is that you? Be careful, I don't want to hurt you. Again, another reference to 2001 Space Odyssey. If you have not seen that movie, go ahead and see it. Definitely one of the cult classics of all time. A lot of pop culture references that make it to today are in that movie. So definitely want to do that. He's got a lot of stuff here protecting him. So we'll drop a logic bomb on him. See if that helps. Dave, I'm losing my mind. Let's hit him with phenomenology. Again, I'm just trying to stay on point with him. You notice the thing I'm noticing here is like the attack is just starting on his side. So I want to try and keep up with that if I can. So that's why I'm like hitting the button rapidly just to stay on point with it. The more I can hit him before he hits me, the better, Remember, we still have Zen we can use, so that's always a good option. We do want to keep bombing him with logic more and more. That'll knock him down faster. Let's hit him with this one. Let's go back to logic. Go to that well again. And let's try another one. Let's try philosophy. Alright, we're getting close here. I think we got one more shot with sophistry. And then I'm going to have to Zen, I think. Yep. Nope, I got through. Okay, never mind. I'm losing my mind, Dave. I can feel my cores burning even now. Goodbye. Cool. We beat NASA. We beat Hal. Zone 2 will be next. Zone 2 is it's not as bad looking ahead to it. There's only one AI which we really can't take on yet. Zone 3 is where you're going to have a lot of the stuff to deal with. And that's where we're also going to be doing our big bank heist too. So look out for that. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our stuff here. And this is just all sciencey stuff. Lunar factory summary, like there's a lunar factory on the surface of the moon. Lunar soil. So let's look at house funding strategy. File under modification. Yeah, that's interesting. The rest of these are 3 and 4 are not really worth it. We don't care about Probe 1.0. We definitely want Python. I think we want 2 of the Python, 1 of the blowtorch, and 1 of the decoder. Beautiful. Okay, and we'll exit the system. Great. Um, I'm glad we've made it this far. So in terms of the game itself, I want to say we are about 60, let's say it's 60 to 65% complete. The next session is going to be the one where we get rich, hopefully, if we do it all right. Because we're going to do some cool hacking stuff where we secretly transfer some funds into our bank account. You know, the hacker way, I guess. But for now, we've done well. We've leveled up our skills. We've got better software. We've got, the stuff we need to keep moving into zone 2. And that's going to lead us to the stuff we need for zone 3 and so on. So we're good. We're looking pretty good, I think. We're right where we need to be with it. And like I said, once we get through zones 2 and 3, we're going to be into the end game, which is, the last, 4 or 5 zones. And we'll be in good shape after that. Let's see. First thing we want to do is debug. All right. So I hope everybody has a good week this week. Again, I apologize if I seem a little down tonight. I am just drained right now. I wish I felt better. I wish that I wasn't doing so much to kind of tend to kids and stuff like that. Sometimes it gets to be a little bit much, and I'm doing everything I can to try and enjoy it, but it sometimes gets tough. Decoder and blowtorch, right? Decoder and blowtorch, yeah. Um, like I said, I don't mean to complain about stuff. It's just, you know, after a while, it gets tough and you have to vent a little bit. So I'll be okay come tomorrow. Everything will be fine. Um, let our health get up past 9/11. So again, I hope everybody has a great week this week. I will be back on Wednesday. We'll either do this or we'll do Diablo 2 or we'll do Pool of Radiance. I'm kind of leaning towards this right now because I want to keep making progress on this and finish this game because in my opinion, we're anywhere from 1 to 3 sessions away from finishing this. So 3 streams most, and then we can call this a finished game played through. Pool of Radiance is going to take a lot longer. Diablo 2 is going to take a lot longer. And there are other things that I'd love to get into as well. Uplink, like I mentioned, there's a lot of other games I'd love to be able to stream. It's getting to the point where I have to start keeping a list of all the games I want to stream and start doing it. I think at some point I am going to start streaming more often than just 2 days a week. It seems like 3 days a week with the additional World of Warships stream is nice. I would love to get to, I think, 4 streams max per week, with the occasional beyond, like if I have a week off or something like that, maybe I'll stream every day or something like that and just do a good chunk of streaming or something. Maybe not. It depends on, like, what I have going on during the week and stuff. But I do want to stream more. It's just a matter of getting the time to do it. Real life has, it often gets in the way. So we're going to do a quick save here and I'm going to call it a night. So again, I hope everybody has a great week. Hit me up on Discord. Um, the link is in the leaving screen here as well as in the beginning screen as well. Like I said, I am going to get off of Twitter/X. I think this week I'm going to actually try and archive my stuff and get away from it because it's just, to me, it's just a platform that's not worth going after anymore. Um, I don't know if I'll jump on another platform like Threads or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really feeling inclined to do it, but who knows? Maybe I will. Um, so this is 21st Century Jedi. I will sign off with the same words I've been doing for a little while now, which is just know that you are loved. There's light up above, and the joy, it's always enough. So bubbles up. 21st Century Jedi signing off. Have yourselves a great week, guys.